So it's now 4:47. Here's my ride report from the Lime I just got done riding, which, by the way, I think I should show where I parked it, because that's kind of neat. I parked it right there, next to the wall and the utility pole at the entrance to the alley there at 46th Street. And back in the day when I was a lime juicer, I used to often leave a lime right there because it was within the coverage area, barely. And it was just nice to have one available to ride whenever I wasn't working. And I noticed that they got used when I left them there. Now, sometimes it took a day or two, but people would see it there and they'd ride off on it. I always thought it'd be neat if Lime designated that as a Lime hub, and of course that was never going to happen, but I like to park there. It's the most convenient spot for me to walk home. Now, I'm pretty sure the Lime coverage area ends at 46th Street, so as I head down this alley home, I'm walking out of the coverage area. But hey, that gets me close enough. Oh, look at this. He's tossed out a pretty cool looking aquarium. Ooh, and it smells bad. Part of me wants to come back for it, though, and clean it up. So, gosh, so many things I didn't get around to mentioning in all my walking and riding and rambling. But I think the most important thing I should mention is that, well, it would have been nice to pick up more work today, and I wasn't able to. Due to, well, this is the first time I saw a shift pop up. And it was at the store I used to work at. I worked at it 2 or 3 times. Oh, look, more cans. The store I worked 2 or 3 times at Val Vista and Germain. And that's very much populated and developed down there. But when I looked at the bus route to see what bus service there is out there, and there is almost nothing. There is a bus that runs on Chandler Boulevard, which I'm not sure at what point Chandler Boulevard becomes Williamsfield Road, but at any rate, there's a little diversion where it goes down Val Vista, and it gets within a block, turns on Mercy Lane there, and it gets within a block of that Circle K. So I was kind of excited to see that, holy shit, I can actually take a bus to that location. And I looked, and it was a flex shift, and I could start it at either 4 or 5, and it was a little bit after 3 when I saw that. All right, I'm throwing pennies on the ground. Go me. It's a little bit after 3, and I didn't actually look at the schedule to see how long it would take me, but at that point I was already on the 56. Hey, kitties. I was already on the 56. I think that's the bus route number. The Priest bus headed north. And I'm sure it's a safe bet. There was no way in hell I could have made it there, especially since I was already on the bus going in the wrong direction within an hour. Now, if I hadn't already got on the northbound Priest bus and I was still at the intersection and caught a southbound Priest bus to Chandler Boulevard, and then from there taken the Chandler Boulevard bus out to Val Vista, I think I might have been able to make it within an hour. But yeah, with me needing to turn around, wait for another bus, and then ride it, and then go transfer, there was no way in hell I was getting there within an hour. So what I did look at instead was my options for getting home. And I was really disappointed to see this. Had I started my shift at 4, I would have got off at 8, and I would have had no problem getting a bus going westbound, which could have transferred me to something I could have taken northbound to the light rail and got home. However, the soonest I could have got there was by like 5, and if I started my shift at 5, I would have got off at 10. And as you can see, the last bus going westbound was around 9:45. And mind you, I've probably got about a 10-minute walk-ish to get from Circle K to the bus stop. And
I never manage to clock out at exactly the right time. It always takes me a little bit to get the clock out code from the manager or the employee and get clocked out and gather up my stuff. So even if there'd have been a bus at like 10:15 going out, that would have been pushing it. But man, 9:45, the last bus heading out, that's too early. People work night shifts. There should be buses available for everybody to get to and from work. There really should be. So, being the kind of person who just likes tormenting myself, I did. Making sure I got my sandals here. Seems like when I'm looking for my sandals, I can't find them. They're right here in the living room, ready to go. Not that I'm wearing them today, but once I get home, I just like to be done with the shoes. So anyway, I did continually refresh the app, and I took some screenshots. As you can see, additional shifts were popping up, and they were all a little farther away. But there are places that had I had a vehicle, especially one that gets decent gas mileage, I would have driven out to make $60 to $66. I wouldn't even mind going out to, Apache Junction or well, pretty much any of these locations. I mean, especially considering I was already out in the East Valley. But yeah, I'm very limited by not having a vehicle. And it sucks.